A first game done and dusted. It was actually on Dust 2 as well. We did get to see a solid start for the French side, actually managing to close it out in the end on their CT side, albeit with a little bit of struggle and a fantastic comeback. 6 consecutive rounds from Fnatic did make them look like a beast to be reckoned with. Yanko and Pansy are joining me now to be talking through our next map. We've got Cash to discuss now. And now, Yanko, well, we'll start with the basics. Because we have 3 of this same map in a row, I thought it would be fun to treat these death segments with a little bit of something different. We're actually just going to focus on the map as a whole. I mean, I don't, have you done a video on your YouTube channel? I know you do lots of different videos. Have you covered Cash?
Cash, not yet.
Aha! It's a first time. we get a first.
Gonna get some material here.
Myself and Pansy are going to be picking his brain regarding Cash. So we've got 3 different maps of Cash. Why don't we do with different areas, different facets of Cash? Lauren, what are you thinking? Where do we start? We start talking about mid control? I feel like that's always a good place to start.
I want to talk about mid, because if you looked at the old Fnatic and you talk about Flusher and how he held mid, and they had some very specific players as to how they played it out, I just think there's quite an enjoyable discussion as to how people hold mid, what sort of style do they bring to it. Different teams have different approaches on T and CT, of course. Alex, what sort of questions do you have? Because you play mid yourself, right?
I suck at it, though.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's so frustrating.
Ask away.
Okay, let's do this.
How can I help you, Alex?
CT side.
Okay.
CT, my responsibility is middle. And a problem I always find myself...
Only yours?
No, well, it's usually, but it's supposed to be, I like 2 players in middle with a flex towards A, right? But I always have a problem where I'll get, if I play Sandbags passive, I'll get mollied and just get wrecked. If I play Connected passively, it's going to be smoked at some point or another towards Z. If I play Sugar Cube or that white box, I have a problem where I'll probably get 1 and then there's going to be a flood of Ts and I die. Or if I push up aggressive, I'm probably going to get caught by boost, or I go into vents and I only get 1. Help me. There you go.
That was a strong
Alex has been tilted by this for years.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so that's the thing. Yeah. That's why Cash is one of my favorite maps. It's kind of the opposite of Cobble in that sense. There's a lot of things you can do on your CT side. And it's mostly a team effort. You need to come to an agreement as a team. So if you see that people are using mollies, smokes, a lot of their resources to get mid control, then you probably should just, if you don't want to send 3 people there initially, you have oppers maybe on the other sides to hold their ground. Maybe you should just let go of mid, right? Focus. If they're using a lot of resources and a lot of manpower on mid, that means they're weak someone else on another part of the map. So maybe you can go for a pop flash in A main, get a man advantage there, push squeaky with 2 players, maybe be a bit more aggressive towards the B bombs. Yes, and then after you get the initial advantage by pushing somewhere, depending on what you choose, depending on the information you got previously, in previous rounds, then you can just play the advantage, right? You can just play for info from mid, and you can play with 2 players in bomb sense. You have the numbers advantage, and there's no need for you to go for risky plays after that.
So, but I mean, surely there's a large disadvantage to giving up mid control, because the T side suddenly you as the CT side have to be so damn alert. You basically have to be. They could come from vents, they can come from middle, they can go up highway, they can.
Yes, but it's you're giving something
for something else
to gain something else, right? So if you don't get a kill, you at least get some info. You can leave a player aggressively in A main, right? So then you can only leave that one player on A. Then you can focus more towards mid. You can even try and retake it if you want. You can pop flash. There's a really powerful position if you're looking from quad with the AWP towards mid, towards highway. That's really hard. It's really hard to combat that position unless you smoke it off. And not many teams know that smoke. And even if they do, you know, sometimes you just run out of smokes pretty much. So there's a lot of things you can do. You'll see it in a video for sure.
I like this. We will continue to talk about Cash after the game does go down. Of course, this wasn't the usual pre-match segment, but you know what? You've seen G2, you've seen Fnatic, we've talked about their individuals. You'll see their storyline develop now, right here in-game, as we do go into our first Cash game of 3. This is so funny. I can't believe we've got 3 of the same map. But let's see our first example of Cash and how it does go down. Henry G and Sadakist are ready to see what G2 and Fnatic are getting up to.
Well, 3's a charm and good things come in 3s. I have had 3 of these bottles of water and I forgot to use the bathroom in our break, so we could be in trouble. But Cash, Henry.
3 servings of it. I can't wait. I like this map. It's my favorite map to cast, I think. So I'm hyped. I like it.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, someone else very much likes to cast it and play it, and told me once that he would carry me to a victory and did abysmal, was James Bardoff.
He said he's going to carry you.
Yeah, he was the reason we picked Cash.
He's the reason you lost as well, I think.
It definitely wasn't me. It'd never be me. Well, the map record's kind of interesting and perhaps telling as to why we're here. 6-2 versus 7-1 over the Pro League history between these two teams. Very different Fnatic roster, though. We'll see if the double op comes back to play. They were one of the more formidable teams with it on this map. Set smoke from Lekro, that'll go top, or rather, excuse me, toward the truck between the red crates, so they'll cover off at least the main choke point and have to clear quad manually when they do go in. They've got a second smoke on Venton, but he's not really set to throw that toward quad cleanly, so we'll see how they try and utilize that, perhaps post-plant. Regardless, not going to be playing the retake. They've got a player inside of the site. That shocks. So the second smoke goes for the bounce. So it's a full coverage deep inside the site. They want to wrap around and get an open plant at quad, or rather behind quad, so they can cover off truck, but that leaves Shock still here and still looming large as he gets 1 kill. Damage done as well onto Twist, and that's going to drop him when Scream comes back in, who gets 3 on the way through. Bomb was dropped in behind the quad in the process, and it's on to Olaf. That's fine if you're playing the retake game, as many teams do. That second smoke holds out the retake from happening before the plant, but that time they just get shut down by Shock's distracting.
Yeah, it's Scream coming in with amazing play there with the USP. Just raiding everyone that came in front of his crosser now, up to Olofmeister. Has been detected, but he does get a kill in the process. It's going to be 1 versus 1. Scream versus Olofmeister. 2 of the best aimers in the game currently. Let's see who comes out on top here. 40 seconds remaining. Bomb is still down towards the quad area as well, and Scream's just going to be holding towards Forklift, waiting for him to walk in his crosshair, but Olaf just too good. Takes him down with a Glock no less as well. At that sort of range, you expect Scream to have a huge advantage there, but does not work out in that fashion, and it will be Fnatic to pick up the pistol after such hard work from Scream himself. RPK, the first player to drop, and they can't actually convert the pistol round into a victory. Goes round number 2. Force by coming in for G2 as well. Going to be Deagles, 5-7s, and Scream with an MP9. I guess he did get 3 kills, so he's trying to throw a spanner in the works in that fashion. 3 rifles available for Fnatic. You'd assume this would be a very slow round. They need to rush these things. Hold it together. Default, see what aggression's coming through. And you can see someone potentially maybe go towards Squeaky Door. That could be Scream flashed in, so just be facing it. Slowly making progress here. Lekro will be waiting for him. Not sure if he got spotted there.
Well, Screamy goes down. Lekro with the kill. Jumpy just getting back into his coaching slot. We haven't really talked a lot about that. They mentioned on the desk, but Jumpy, the new coach, if we go into a management position, we'll see what he brings. Obviously had some success back in 1.6. Played with Aligon in CSGO, and we saw a little bit of them in qualification stages for minors, and I think even as far back as Fragbite last December, but either way, it's a man advantage right now for Fnatic. Make it 2. Body goes down. Olaf gets tanked to 17 in the process, so Pistol does well in that regard. It'll give Shox a chance to maybe capitalize with the MP9 if the round goes that far, if he even gets back over toward the B site. And likely, I would expect, with head armor and SMG and armor on RPK, they just save it, because you've got to save fully to go into round 3 with anything at all if you want on the CT side.
Yeah, nice open plan here for the terrorists. Not really much G2 can do about this situation. They managed to salvage the MP9 and head armor as well. They know they can't win this round, so it's probably best just trying to save the weapons they've got, the armor they have as well. Fall back, see if there is any sort of exit potential. If there is a kill available at that point, they could upgrade to an AK-47 potentially as well. But Fnatic are going to be aware of this. Surely all going to be exiting towards T-spawn together. Wait till the bomb starts getting to the point of no return, and then exit that way as well. But it was Scream who opened things up. He tried to push towards that Squeaky Door area. Had the MP9, which is pretty unheard of on the second round force back from the CTs. You'd expect him to get an upgraded pistol, have that utility, but he wanted to have a bit more rapid fire as he went towards Squeaky Door. Didn't work out for him though. Lekro took him down. And now we are on the 5-on-3. So Shoxy has got a chance here, but unfortunately misplaces his crosshair. He will be taken down by Dennis. And they do manage to save a Deagle and a 5-7. RPK has got head armor, but this round is redundant. This will be the time where G2 have to just go full eco, and a chance for Fnatic to farm some cash, especially players like Wenton and Lekro. They've got the SMGs, so that's $600 a kill for them. And it'll be interesting to see what G2 bring to the table. You can go for a B stack, you can push B storage. That's pretty much the kind of ideas you want to be going with, especially when you don't have any flashbangs to get you any sort of control here. So 3 players towards B for now. Smiths has got a Deagle as well. He's seeing if there's anything available at all, but it's very unlikely anyone will give him an inch.
Dennis creeps out in middle right now. Spots 1, hits the shot on Scream. Has a bit of coverage from the top of drop right now, so that's why he wouldn't swing back immediately and put his crosshair at this position. Not only had a Molotov there, so he assesses that out. His team just gives him a little bit of coverage. He can still focus toward that A site, try and clear it out, potentially someone else stacked in behind quad. Doesn't want to get caught like a bear by the bees with his hand in the hive, so no stack to be found just yet. Dennis tagged up a little bit this time. Does know Shox is there, but they've also got a second player out towards Squeaky that can cover this off. And if they force rotations early enough as well, then they can just take the bomb elsewhere.
Indeed. Oh, Wenton does get the door slammed in his face, but the smoke still gets out somehow. They should be making their way towards A here. The bomb's in A storage, and this actually be a pretty good call considering the 3 CTs towards the B side. So just poor old Shox here with the silence USP. Will be taken down. 5-on-3 now. Round over. And then the CT player is completely out of position as well. So bomb will be planted, and that's going to be it. They'll be trying to go for exits. Once again, there's not really any justification for Fnatic to go hunting apart from the SMGs, I guess. They can farm some cash. They got the kills here, but don't really want to give one of these AKs away.
Oh, shot through from Wenton. That nearly goes the other way with the Deagle. You were praying for one of those lovely shots, weren't we? But RPK shows off. I think RPK's best trait right now, this is actually quite good. They're knocking a lot of guns down from Fnatic as we're going to head into the first gun round.
There's nothing to gain from that.
Okay, there's not enough time. If there was a kit, and he had gone in a little sooner, they left the site really early. Twist is on the opposite side of the map at this point. But you're right, they've given up 2 AKs. We're going into the first gun round. They could potentially bring out a lot more on the back of this. But not only that, I was about to say, RPK's biggest trait right now, I think, is consistency in his aim. He's not, he's not anything glorious, but he's definitely reliable for 1 or 2 kills.
Yeah, every time he feels like he's just very consistent. Solid player, for sure. Never going to be in the 1v4 clutch situations and doing crazy stuff like that, but when he's with his teammates and executing on the sides, he's going to hit the shots that count. That's definitely one of his biggest assets. We go to round number 4. It is 3-0 for Fnatic so far on the second map here. If you are just joining us, G2 managed to avoid a very close game on Dust 2. Their City side wasn't perfect, but it was just enough to get them through. After that, pretty glorious T side. It's going to be aggressive play, though, from G2 to kick things off. And will be Shox in towards A main. He has got the AWP, just the M4A1S. And a little boost comes in as well. Smiths will be giving him a little bit of a silent boost up there, so he can have the AWP in A main. Shox in position as well. I guess he's been baited in by Smiths at this point. Just will fire 1 bullet and fall back, and the idea is to try and bait him as much as possible. Fnatic, on the other hand, though, boosted Olofmeister once again on the AWP. This seems like a trend. Maybe Twist only comes in when required on the CT side. I guess this varies map by map at this point.
Yeah, I think so. But the good news is we don't have to vary map by map tonight, because we're going to see Cash.
The interesting thing as well, like,
Cash.
This is fine in this series, but when it's NIP phase, they're actually playing it twice. Like, how does that work?
Not 100% sure, to be completely honest, because if one team just gets blown out, how do you reset in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You know, usually you'd say when you have a rematch, the team that came out, you know, worse for wear in the first game can adjust, try and capitalize on the you know, whatever they can read from you and have more time to talk about it. Usually we say there's actually a chance they can upset them on that second game, but when it's that close together, it's tough. Quick little smoke from RPK to keep himself in the corner. That means Body also only has to peek to the left. He won't be overwhelmed, because as soon as they push through, RPK will save him. But Venton, great shot. Scream comes around, drops bomb midi pit. Watch the push through from middle. That's a huge miss from Dennis. Scream gets away with it because that should have been his life gone, and it gives them that advantage. Still no bomb plant. Venton just going to get to the default now.
3 versus 2, a massive advantage here. You're absolutely right. Dennis should have nailed that shot. There are players coming from all sides here. Olofmeister will do well to get kill onto Shox, and he does just that. 2 versus 2 now. It's a level playing field, and the CTs don't have grenades to work with. Just the AWP to find the first pick, hoping a terrorist faces Scream. Edges towards the side now. Is going to be both kills coming in favor of G2. Fnatic did what they could, but I have to say, had Dennis got that kill, that's pretty much round over, because then that CT spawn upper locked down completely, and there's not really much option to rotate from CT spawn. So that was a really key moment, and Dennis played amazingly to even get there undetected, but couldn't find the final shot.
Unfortunately not. But G2, they'll be thankful for that, because they've gone to a double op setup that they picked one up and brought over. It's going to be Body and Smiths. So double op CT side, we mentioned it. We talked about Fnatic, the old roster, being so formidable with it. This time it's going to be them to try and wield it in Body. He's been the second opper on this team quite a bit, as Lacro tries to get a little bit of luck on his side, you would say, trying that shot. That's better, though, from Body. That starts it off. Olaf, the one to get caught as well. He's common to get aggressive in that position at B.
Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to face that opening challenge. And I have to say, to his detriment, most of the time in the games we've seen in this new lineup as well, if he hits the shot, it looks fantastic, but it's just such an all-in moment. Well, no one to back him up. He doesn't use much utility to actually get to position. He's just relying on his pure aim in that situation. This time, Body comes out on top. We have got a very similar situation toward the A side as well. Shox boosted up once again with Smiths open towards A main. Doesn't actually land the shot this time, but this is what I wanted to see, how they adjusted this. So Shox are getting baited in as well. Will this work out perfectly? The problem is as well, Shoxy, he's got the M4A4. Normally in a position like that, you want to have the silence weapon just to give you 1 or 2 seconds of undetected time, but let's see what happens as the Fnatic side actually do come towards A. That boost once again. We've seen this before, just to help them look into
Oh, Dennis.
area.
Dennis trying to find something. This is an interesting oh, is he just gonna walk in on this? He is. Okay, there's the flash. I was gonna say, that seemed like it was never going to show up. He does get the kill, drops bomb. They've got to go back for that, and in doing so, reconfront Scream. Dennis on 20 HP gets caught in the corner. Scream with that kill. Lekro actually did team damage to help that one out, but Smiths, speaking of...
Shocked was in that boost position the whole time.
Never did anything.
Didn't actually get a kill. Like, it looked like it was so perfectly played that it was undetected, but Scream just walking into A main there, just trying to, I guess, find a player with a flashbang in his hand. He could feel the execution coming in. Actually worked out pretty perfectly in the time. He got flashed in, got one kill, got past the remaining Ts who had committed to the A side as well, and he comes back through the smoke and gets another kill. But yeah, it's just kind of funny that Shox was supposed to be the point man there and didn't actually find anyone in this crosshair at all. So that's going to be a reply from G2 here after Fnatic pick up the first 3. Managing to keep on that double orb setup as well. This will be the full eco for the Swedish side. P250s and Glocks, no nades. Pretty much just have to consider walking into B. That's where the bomb will be down as well. Trying to see if there's any aggression. You can see Dennis booted up in the mid warehouse. Hoping someone goes a bit of close range here, but that smoke should probably tell him to fall back.
Dennis is trying to get boosted. Not quite the same opportunity from that position because it relies on someone getting aggressive from the G2 side, catching them off. Dennis is hoping they will do exactly that, though, as Shox thinks better of it, goes back over toward A. He'll set and wait Smiths. Meanwhile, playing toward Truck, but in the corner, so he's actually covering the tight angle for when they cross over. Interesting position, not always you see that, but with no utility down and not expecting any on the T side, be the right call. That's a good evaluation of the economy on the opposing side. RPK and Shock start things off. They do get toward the vent, so they'll bust through. RPK, though, still caught in no man's land, is able to spray down. And so far, he's got 3. Looking for the 4K, won't get it. Dennis will find him at Screams there immediately after, and good work from him. It'll go 3-3. G2 looking formidable. Emphatic on this CT side, I would say, so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Shox especially. He seems to be more than happy to go towards A main at the very start of each round. He's just trying to lock them down and get a smoke towards the T side of the A storage as well. And it's aggressive play, but if it's working and they're finding those frags, then why not? They have got that double orb setup still rolling with them as well. It's going to be Body and Smiths. Body once again working towards the B storage area. We'll be interested to see how Olof reacts this time. Will he still be looking for that initial frag? Will he be working there by himself? Looks like that's not going to be the case whatsoever. They actually got no one towards B. Maybe a full-on A split here, because Olof will be boosted up. I'm sure he won't face as of yet. Lines himself up for the smoke. And that's going to go towards Highway, so his teammates will be going in towards A, but it's aggressive once again. You mentioned it. RPK locks him down for the smokes, even have a chance to bloom here, and Shox coming in from behind as well. It's a bloodbath from G2, just absolutely outplaying Fnatic here, reading them like a book. And not a very good one by the looks of things. That's going to be a 3 versus 1. Lekro, though, we saw him come close to winning a 4-on-1 on Dust 2. Can he get any closer this side?
Oh, I like that. That is lovely. Smiths thinks, I got him, guys. Don't worry. I'll catch him off. Nope. Your head's just going to be removed. Process of elimination. Your head getting eliminated.
Lekro fancies his chances here as well. You can see G2 getting a little bit cagey. They're not 100% sure what's going on.
The smart thing is that after that shot, rather than overextending him and giving him another one-on-one, they go back in group.
Yeah.
So they'll just watch this together.
The bomb is down for now as well. It's an A storage. I don't think the CTs are aware as well. You can see they're not actually watching that for now. They're actually separated as well. Body towards CT spawn, but he does hit the shot as well. So got a little bit hairy there. Lekro finding those first 2 very good headshots, but that was such an amazing play from G2 as a whole, just completely reading what was going on. And you could see the backstabs coming in, the initial frags as well, just locking them down before they actually had any real chance of execute onto the site. It was RPK kicking things off. He saw the smoke coming over from the boost spot. That's actually Olof Meister. That's when the boost spot goes directly towards Highway. That's supposed to segregate the bomb site itself, but he pushes in A storage and takes down 2 players, and that's the tactic over. Another eco here for Fnatic. They have partially invested into this one. Maximum stage loss bonus coming into the next round. So Body should be nailing a couple of these kills. Gets the first one.
Whoa.
Did he get him?
Just barely spots the arm event, and as well, second walks in, third rather, excuse me, as that is a triple for him. He's looking for more. He's still got the lineup. The trigger discipline almost gifts him that 4th one, but unfortunately cost him his life in the end as Olof will go around the corner. However, G2 looking sharp once more, nearly, but never going to win the round. I thought he would at least hit a nice shot for us, but we don't get the entertainment I was hoping for.
5 in a row for G2. Money starting to get into a place of more benefit for Fnatic. No orb coming out this round. It will be 5 AKs once again. They have got a full range utility this time, though. So those executions, which Fnatic have been relying on, I should say, have been a little bit lackluster. They're quite telegraphed into when they're coming, and G2 are just capitalizing every single time, getting aggressive before the smokes even bloom and shutting them down. That's what you should be doing on the CT side. You shouldn't allow them to actually get towards the bomb site with all their smokes and all the players alive as well. This is a perfect display since round number 3, or round number 4 from G2. They've actually been locking you down time and time again. Double op setup seems to be working very well, indeed, as this time it's a full A retake. You can see actually just Smiths playing from CT spawn, an adjustment, and then focusing towards middle this time with 3 rifles towards that area.
So RPK hugging inside of that smoke, waiting for a push. Dennis. And wait for a push on A main. It's happened multiple times. We saw it with RPK pushing through, picking up the 2 kills last round. We saw Shox doing it, I think it was 2 rounds before that. Don't quote me, but point is, G2 known for the aggression. Scream just baits in a few shots toward the doorway. Smith's again, this same angle. This time, though, with the utility against him, Fnatic could easily smoke this off. We watch one more player go out towards Squeaky Door, and that's the bomb. It'll be 3 players coming out of that doorway. You'd expect this to be the split fully onto the A site. But with no one back toward the default smoke position, that's a good lineup from Scream. Massive damage done to 2. Venton and Lekro, I was going to say they can't cover off quad. Thankfully, no one playing there for G2, but Scream, he's still done an excellent job so far, as Lekro will fall. Bomb's going to go down, no Molotov in to deny the default, but RPK wins the kill against Lurking Olafmeister, and that might have been their last chance in this post-plant to really win the round, to secure it, because with low HP on Venton, all they have to do is just slow this down, but he manages to find at least 1 kill to start this off.
4-on-2 now. It's going to be Dennis and Twist, and actually Dennis doing some serious work, gets aggressive towards A main, finds a headshot towards Shox as well. It's going to be time ticking away. CTs don't have much left to work with in terms of utility as well, and Twist just keeps facing, finding kills as well. CTs coming in together. This kill is going to be important. 1 versus 1. Smiths with the AWP to find Twist towards quad. The bomb is getting to the point in no return. I think he has to fall back here. Great hold from Fnatic in round number 9. And Smith is looking for the consolation kill. He gets it. Should be able to survive that as well, which he does, but that's a really nice play from Fnatic. He fought for RG2 with that setup as well. You saw the amount of damage Scream did as he was actually holding from Highway as well. To ding 2 players out of the Squeaky Door wasn't enough, apparently. G2, very defensive setup there towards the A site, and although they got that initial damage and the man advantage as well, the crossfires are Fnatic, and that aggression from Dennis towards A main as well couldn't be held off. Still, though, after all players dying for Fnatic, you can see they're actually still heavily against it as we go into round number 10. They won the last round, and they've got a pistol and a UMP in hand, and double orb setup still for G2, so this could be a chance for a full reset on the T side.
Could be. G2, body, they're going to go for the boost. Build the ladder. RPK will time it. No one there just yet. Now there is, though. Oh, that timing. In and out in the time that he's crouched. They're going to wait for it. They're desperate for it. No one there just yet. They'll fade away. Did they mean to do it or not? Doesn't matter. Invitation gone. And look, again, as, of course, Olaf does look in that direction, to be fair, that time.
Yeah, if you pre-aim it, you definitely can rail the CT doing that, but... round number 10. Big one for Fnatic, and they're up against it as well. Like I said, the Tech 9 and the UMP will be Lekro boosted up. It's funny that he's the player selected to go on the pistol, considering the form of his aim is in right now, but we'll see how they decide to operate. Now they have got mid-control as well, making their way towards vents, but very defensive setup from G2 towards the B side. You see Body, he's baiting in RPK on the bomb site here. RPK is just to his right. So as soon as Body gets the kill, he'll try and hide, and RPK with the spray down as his teammates come towards the site here. Screen rotating it as well. They've read this very well. But the bomb's towards A, though. This is just a little bit of a fake.
This is an entire fake. The problem is, though, even though it's toward A, they haven't forced the rotations out, so good patience from G2 right now. And it's because of the boost. Shox can shut this down. He's got perfect line of sight toward Highway. One goes through, no trigger discipline, though. That means 2 players face him at the same time, and Lekro's got it with the Tech 9. Dennis, UMP around the corner. Scream's going to be the first to arrive on the crime scene. But his investigation so far only warrants the arrest of 1, and Lekro goes down, Olaf lurking mid. He'll cover off rotations, Body. Next to fall, yes indeed. As Olaf is the mastermind behind this criminal plan, and it's going to be 5-5 now for Fnatic. I say for Fnatic, but the round for Fnatic.
Yeah, indeed. That seems like Fnatic didn't really have much to work with there. It looked like it was just a BXQ coming in. They actually went very well, they're very committed towards the B side completely, and you could see G2 were rotating over. They thought they'd read the situation, but it was actually just a complete fake that the bomb was actually making its way towards Squeaky Door. They timed it very nicely as well. 2 players coming towards Highway. They bailed out for vents, and it was Shocked who was boosted once more, could only find 1 kill, and that was their downfall. As soon as they got towards the site and found those kills, the AWP was retained as well. And it's Fnatic tying things up a 5-5 here, and once again, Scream goes aggressive. Gets taken down by Lecro. That's the second time it's happened in this half as well, so now the CTs with the man advantage. Well, sorry, the terrorists with the man advantage, and they can just hold up and see what the reaction is. They are struggling as well. No kits on 3 of the players, 1 incendiary remaining as well, 1 smoke. But a kill can return.
Twist. Taking body through the vent. Smiths can't hit the shot. They're going to double up on that peak. They're trying again, desperate to pull map control back and do something a little different to try and take the fight to find the kill. Speaking of kills, RPK, he won't be able to get any through that smoke. No one pushed into tree just yet, but that's his invitation to get away, and I think they're going to do exactly that, because although they picked up 5 rounds in a row, it's been 2 now for Fnatic, and their money is dwindling away. In fact, saving 3. There's not enough on the players that really stay alive here, so who can drop out? Really no one. They can get a FAMAS, maybe 2.
3 gun saves. They have an AWP. Well, now 2 gun saves. They have an AWP and an M4. They're going to get $2,400. Yeah, there's not really much I can do. They could balance it out with force buying pistols. I think at this stage of the game, they probably just go up some PT50s and stuff and see what Smiths can do with the AWP. That's pretty much the only plan here. You want to be making sure you save money going forward and actually have a foundation to build upon. Forced into this round, it's still very unlikely you're going to win it, and you'll have to no money going forward. We'll see what they decide to do. So the AWP saved, RPK managing to bring the M4A1S as well. I'd imagine they're going to get Deagles, PT50s, and try and keep the money strong.
Well, money going strong for Fnatic's side, but Smiths is going to have to come up large in charge. Lean, mean with that green fighting machine, the AWP. Sox goes flashed in, does cross over against Dennis this time, who has the AWP but can't find the shot, and that's going to put Smiths inside of the corner to try and watch it in reverse. So he now has the advantage in this situation by already having the angle covered off. But does Fnatic bother going back to it or not? Does Dennis read the situation as saying, I no longer have that as held ground, let's look elsewhere to find the opening pick? And so far that seems to be more the case, because they've pulled everyone back toward middle and even starting to evaluate over toward B with Olaf, who we mentioned, loves to take the battle over there. Does have a bit of a problem in that there's 2 players against him. He's got the advantage knowing that potentially there's only 1 rifle there. RPK, twist, that's the rifle gone. Venton gets the trade kill, and now Body limited to the back of the site. Can't do anything about re-grabbing that gun, so they pull Shocks early, and Dennis is there as well. This will be the entrance. Tree smoked off, there's an additional Molotov up toward Heaven. There's gonna be no one peeking above, as Scream would normally do, and Body, he lines up a headshot, but it's a dink against the armor on Olaf, and they'll walk in quite quickly with Bomb. Micro tries to get the kill at Heaven, but likes to plant instead.
G2 did what they could there. It was RPK and the Vents who managed to pick up 1 kill towards Twist, but at that point, it's the terrorist overwhelming the CT defense towards the B side there, and Smiths at this point just wants to save his AWP, seeing if there are any kills available towards middle whatsoever, but unfortunately for him, it won't happen. The terrorist now 4-man advantage as Smiths and Scream just looking for exit kills here. Smiths watching towards the Vents, and Scream, he'll just be holding CT spawn as well, hoping someone walks into his crosshair, but Olaf Matchday can see him hunting, and he will find Smiths as well, nails the shot, and that's the AWP found, and I picked it up. You could go for double AWPs on the T side. It's pretty unorthodox, but it's definitely an option. Scream, last player remaining. So G2 now, he said they will get $2,100 into the next round. So money's not awful. So it's not the end of the world. They definitely can buy into this round, but 7-5 here on the T side of Cash. Fnatic, after winning the pistol and losing 5 in a row, coming back to life with 4 gun rounds to himself. So Dennis on the AWP seems to change almost every time.
Yep.
Who's having a go with it. Yeah. So hard to keep track.
I'm gonna have a go at it next time. Told you, 17 and 72. Nade, Smiths. Oh, that hurt. Why are you gonna be so rude? I'm gonna be so rude. Smith's going to fall back away through the smoke, tries to get a shot, but it's Scream instead, hits Twist on the boost. That's an audacious play as well, jumping up on the white box like that. Yep. No one really watching the big garage.
No, absolutely. And just players like Scream with that kind of aim can justify it, I guess. He knows he's fast enough to just take a couple of shots and take down an unsuspecting terrorist there. And it's going to be Body, though, taking a ton of damage. 1 HP from the Molotov. Somehow...
Oh, that's gone.
Yeah,
the poor man's getting picked on.
I was going to say, if he can fall back and still survive the AWP as well, he still has a chance to get kills, but not meant to be. It's going to be Dennis finding another kill here. 4 versus 3. Scream left towards middle by himself. We've got RPK in towards Checkers, but he's got players waiting for him. That'll be Olaf. Oh, does he decide to go around the corner? He doesn't just yet. This is difficult for the CTs now. What are the options? They're all separated. Bomb site A is pretty empty. Shox is the only, Smiths is the only player there, boosted up. And unfortunately for the CTs, they've gone all in towards the A site. Smiths thinks he heard something, but he didn't hear a single thing, as it's going to be 4 players towards a B site. Bomb will be going down. And that should be round over. You can see the CTs don't really have much warrant to go back and try and challenge this, especially when Olaf Mice is in CT spawn as well. Taking down RPK, 4 on 2. And it's going to be Fnatic winning the half here. 5 rounds in a row now for them. So maximum loss bonus for G2, but what can you really do going to the next round with $3,400? Both players have to survive to even have an option.
Why is there all the mentions of adult film stars in chat tonight?
Which ones?
Well, some of your favorites. They haven't put in the Henry G one yet, though. Did you see the new feature with him in it?
No, I didn't.
It's called Girthquake. Henry Girthquake.
That was a name I actually had at university.
Oh, I doubt it. Smiths and Scream. Last 2 alive.
God, where have we gone?
I don't know. Lekro's not going to actually allow that to happen, so he'll take 1 back, and that's going to make... Got him. Going to make this rebuy a significantly harder ordeal for them. Round 14, they have to justify this pretty quickly as well, because round bonus...
Maximum.
Well, it is maximum. Okay, so 5 rounds. I thought it was just under that, but it's going to be 5 rounds now. So they will potentially be able to bring out another one with this FAMAS's and Scouts 2 M4 is going to work for them. But Olaf spraying through smoke, trying to find a lucky shot. It's Shox that's going to take advantage of that and try and get forward in middle. But the Molotov late, they spot him up, and guess what? Plan A foiled, back to Plan B.
2 FAMAS's, 2 M4s, and Smiths with the Scouts. Fnatic will be aware of this situation. Going to be going all in towards A, it seems, as well. 3 players in the A storage area. Smoke's being deployed as well. And there's quite a heavy presence from the CTs towards the middle area as well. But Smiths, he can't do anything. That Scout doesn't even land a shot as Dennis takes him down. Smoke's towards highway as well. Screamy desperately trying to rotate in, but he hasn't got any utility to work with. He's had to rely on his raw aim, which we know he's capable of. And what's he doing as Fnatic catching him away towards the side? Not a lot. Lekro finds him.
It does indeed. Bomb going to go down. Jump up, Lekro spots 1 at highway. It's Shox who's going to try and go on. No, he's on the barrels. My mistake. X-ray misleading. I thought he was going to try and climb onto the catwalk. Either way, he's assassinated in the process, and Fnatic, they'll get yet another round. So 9 now for them to the 5 of G2. A very good T-sided half on cash. Remember, their record coming into this Pro League record was 7-1, but a lot of that with the older roster. Things seem to have not changed, and once again, it's Olaf that leads the charge. We've mentioned he has to step up until this new roster comes into its own.
So it's the last round. Scream had a decent spawn. He said, you know what, I'm going to try AWPing. So, he didn't use this spawn. I thought he'd go towards Squeaky Door or B storage. He's actually just going straight towards mid. It'd be very rare for terrorists to face that sort of angle. They're normally boosted up, and that's the most advantageous place to go. But it will be Dennis with the AWP this time, holding A storage at angle the Smiths has been working towards.
Dennis, AWP going to fall back just a little bit here, so they are still trying to fan this out and get the opening picks. We did, to be fair, 5 rounds G2. This isn't like any trend out of the blue, out of the ordinary, in the fact that you mentioned it in the last game, you mentioned it last evening, or whenever the last evening was, casted them. It's been a lot of nights in a row for us, but at the same time, their CT sides are struggling as of late, so maybe still hope when they switch over. 9-6 actually it has been the trend in pro play right now for this map anyway, so we won't read into it too deeply.
Yeah, well, they had that string of 5 rounds. They were actually pretty promising as well. It's just struggling in the economy time and time again, and then the AWP shot's not working out for them. But this time, Shox does find the first kill with the FAMAS. He takes down Lekro. 45 seconds remaining still, though, for Fnatic. So it looks like maybe setting up for a B split. They get control of the vents as well. Smoke's coming in from the CTs. Twist, control the Checkers as well, clearing that out for his teammates.
EK gets one. Twist immediately back into him, though, so only good for one this time on the trade. It's up to Body. This position, he's been successful in the past, but the unfortunate situation... What is that? Scream just gets obliterated. I was going to say, unfortunate situation. Look at Olaf go! Another kill. The FAMAS couldn't do it, and then the AK goes to work. Smith has one of his own, and he's going to find Olaf in turn, who does all the work except the final nail in the coffin. It makes it 9-6.
Wow, that was a crazy round from Olaf, but maybe even better play from Smith at the end as well there. Very impressive stuff from him. You have to say, you don't really expect this kind of plays from Smith with a rifle especially, and he nails Olaf Meister coming in for the back from the vents. And it does leave things at 9-6. Like he said, it's pretty par for the course depending on a pistol. So
yes,
it's still definitely winnable for them. So not a shocking CT display, but definitely not their best. But I guess at this point, Matthew, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll
Good,
see
I need one.
what happens in the second half of the second map.
Welcome back, guys. We're ready to roll for halftime number 2. And it is 9-6, but it was 9-6 in favor of Fnatic, who were on the T side. Again, pretty standard the Pro League play. It's going to depend on the pistol, though, to get the momentum rolling for G2, whose accuracy with AK-47s as of late has been pretty impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, sure. And it's going to be kicking off right now with Luxins as well. Pistol round about to start. Fnatic switching over to the CT side, G2 on the Ts. And it's going to be 4 sets of armor for Fnatic as well. And you can see a smoke for Wenton and a diffuse kit. So that suggests a retake towards A. Obviously smoking the bomb if they wanted to, or maybe that smoke towards middle. We'll see what he decides to do. And actually, yeah, we're focusing heavily towards middle here, but Scream will be there with a Deagle once again. Nails that headshot. It seems like every single time he's able to open the ramp with that weapon as well. Lecker in a horrible position now, can't find anything with this, and he'll be taken down. That's going to be a 5 versus 1. Dennis headshot as well. Round over as quickly as it began.
Absolutely. Dennis does get flanked out. Smith's immediately behind, and the one time Dennis does not get a kill in the pistol round, rare time that Dennis does not get a kill in the pistol round of a CT side, is the time that G2 desperately needs it. So now we can get that momentum. We could be at 9-9 in no time.
Well then, we definitely have a game on our hands now. Scream with the Deagle. That seems, I thought that was just a thing Nico did. He's the only player that was ever going to do that, but Scream, no armor, just Deagle, seems to be finding those opening kills time and time again. Very impressive that he does that. And there's a force buy from every single player of Fnatic. Not like, well, to be fair, I'm not even sure who the main AWP is these days. It seems to be Olaf primarily, then Dennis, then Twist. He's like third in command. So, 5 sets of armor, 5 upgraded pistols. Olof getting towards B storage as well. He's in stun room, so no one actually there for G2 whatsoever. So at least you can see that just adjusting on the minimap, you saw all 4 of the CTs actually getting towards the A site after Olof's call. So this could be promising for Fnatic. They've definitely got a decent setup to counter what may be coming.
RPK trying as he might to get in toward the site. Has to wait as the flames, well, they're burning. Scream. He gets 1 kill onto Dennis. So far, though, it's been Fnatic impressive on this pistol round. This eco round for them. Force up what they can, sure, but Olaf missing shots at middle. It doesn't even matter. They know now where Scream is. The last player remaining, 20 HP versus 4. That momentum I talked about, that 9-9, well, Caster's Curse. Did we just go to a dance?
Some cool music.
A rave? Yeah. Let's put it on. Let's see if we can clutch it out with the music.
Yeah.
1 versus 4. DJ, drop that beat.
I think it's probably more of a mistake than a beat.
This DJ is the worst. Why did you pick this club, Henry? I thought you said we were going to have a good night out.
That's after the cast.
Not me. I don't drink anymore. I'm going to sleep. I was supposed to go to the Belgian Grand Prix tomorrow, but my tickets that were supposed to show up today didn't, so I'm going to miss the 2 days of practice and GP3 qualifying. Or the 2 practices 1 day.
Damn.
Yeah. It's all right. Alonso's not going to do anything impressive in practice or the race anyway. I'm just going for the beer.
I thought you don't drink.
I don't.
Stay game for something you don't even do, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. Good reason to go. Anyway, Scream, the last player remaining. That was great from Fnatic, and you have to say, a bit of a schoolboy error from G2 as a whole. If you're going to do a default to start the round, at least have someone going towards B. It doesn't make sense to allow Olaf to get towards Sunroom and tell all his teammates, okay, well, don't even worry about B. I've got this completely locked down. No one here. Stack towards A. You get all the crossfires you want with these upgraded pistols, and you probably win the round. That's exactly what did happen. And it's a bit of a blunder from G2, but a great round from Fnatic. I think it was Dennis who got the first kill through the door as well. So we go into round number 3. A forced buy from G2 in return. They have got a naked to play with. It's in the hands of Scream as well. That's always going to be deadly. Flashbang comes through, but Twist, he's ready for it. Can hear all the footsteps. No one's checking his direction as well. Can he get space for the right time? There it is. The MP7 doing work. He gets 2 kills, but that's all he'll get as RPK takes him down. 4 versus 2 now, and the grenade does finish RPK off.
That's lovely.
Shocks.
Yeah, good call by Twist for his damage dealt. And Vent didn't closes on Shocks. Olaf caught one coming through the Vent as well. Well, pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward indeed. And Fnatic, after losing such a one-sided pistol, have come back to life here in the second half. This will be a full eco from G2. No plants down in the last couple, so 2k average across the board. A couple of pistols here and there. Looks like maybe boost a couple of players up. That'll be Scream with the Deagle potentially. And RPK maybe.
Get in your crouch again, please. Thanks. I'm just trying to stand on your head. I don't care if your neck's got a cramp. Just get me on top of the box. Because I've got a Deagle and my name's Scream. Every now and then a good shot makes Moses scream. Shocks goes back over toward B connector just in case anyone pushing through toward checker room. Twist is just set up in a position where he can swing if needed when they walk up highway. And here we go, Scream. Deagle in hand, as mentioned, doesn't land that first shot. Twist don't even bother to reface that just yet. May go for the ticket booth peek just to see, yeah, jump peek. That's the smart way of doing it. But now he has to consider this, the push through, the Napoleon strat, divide and conquer. Olaf's come back to do it as well. And G2, while they fancy it, they've got 2 players in there, but Fnatic's 1 step ahead in this sense. M4 gonna get 1 kill, spots the shoulder of the other. RPK goes down. Twist loses a little bit of life on 54, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because Fnatic, they've got the 2-man advantage, and they could find their 12th round very quickly off this. Olaf finding body, nade in, Scream down to 49 HP.
Yeah, it should be 5 players staying alive here for Fnatic. Last 2 for G2 and Checkers. And Scream and Deagle. Maybe find 1 kill, but not meant to be apparently. And as Lekko takes him down, it will be Shocks there towards the checker room, and it's going to be Fnatic picking up the 12th round. 12-7 now. Money's not going to be fantastic for G2. Be enough to get 5 AKs, but no AWP for sure. So Smiths, he'll be on the AK-47. They have got some utility play over Scream, nothing at all. He's still yet to buy, though. He's got $500 remaining, so I'm sure he'll get something. $500, he's not going to buy any nades. Okay. No smoke there, no flash. Nothing.
Well, Twist is going to put a Molotov out. A bit peculiar that there wouldn't be something bought up around that. You're right, but another... Oh, I thought it was going to be a push through. Shocks is already in a position to counter this, though. He just has to... Oh, good Molotov. All he has to do is wait in that corner. If a flash does come through, it would have easily meant that he's on the inside of where the peeking player would be looking, and doesn't even really have to be aware of the push for that exact reason. So the Molotov does clear the corner. They knew they were a little bit late to the A site. Dennis, slide boost, 3 players in A. Or the 2 players in A, 1 on highway, but close enough because he can cover the doorway from where he's standing right now, Twist.
1 minute remaining. Bomb still down in mid-warehouse. It says, or suggests that GT won't be committing anytime soon. Just trying to feel out whether there's a pick available as well. Dennis, aggressive play towards the bomb side there, looking for that first kill. Winston, a bit of a shot towards the squeaky door there, but still GT actually edging out towards Forklift as well. Someone has got out, it's Shoxy, and he's going to try and open things up as Dennis flashes him back.
Dennis is trying to get a quick little headshot against them, but Shox has all walked in so far on this already. 1 kill, looks to highway, 2nd as well. No trade because Scream shuts down Venton. That was the chance to try and deny that, to bring it to a 1-1 trade. Instead, they lose 2 members off of it, 3 including Scream's kill, and Olaf. He's late, he's with Lekro, and they'll fade away. They're going to have to. G2's going to pick up their 8th round, all 5 staying alive with the AK-47s, and that's effectively first gun because, let's not forget, it was the Eco. So G2, even though they won pistol, it's finally getting back underway for them.
Great awareness there for Shoxy, just getting himself in towards the forklift. It's quite a defensive hold from Fnatic in that sense. There's 2 players on the side. No one watching from CT spawn and allowing Shoxy to get that great control, and he just nails the first shot on the bomb site, and the one towards highway was even better. Like he said, Scream finding the kill on Wenton as well. That's just a round over that point. No chance of retake. 5 players alive for G2. Fnatic with 2 left. Trying to save their weapons here. I'm not sure whether they'll both survive. It's going to be Shox hunting as he does spot the last player, but he won't be able to find him in time. But Fnatic still have a ton of cash available. Here you can see Lekro, even after investment, should have about 3 or 4k left. He's on 8 at the moment. Has been dropped a weapon. Why is it not buying? There it is, double AWPs. So they're kind of working out what the setup's going to be. So we Dennis and Olaf Mice on the AWPs. Still very interesting to see how this all works out going forward with this new lineup. Still very early days for them. No AWPs once more for G2, but they kept all 5 alive last round, so no reason to throw away an AK at this point.
Olaf. Molotov out. He likes to stay in the corner on this. It doesn't expand far enough so that it'll do damage and remove him from such a position. Meanwhile, over toward A, there's the bomb and a 2nd player RPK. Or, excuse me, 2nd player Shox, RPK with the bomb. Waiting to go out. Olaf, nearly finding that. We talked about that shot the other day. There is a lineup that is available. Your head just shows enough when you try and set that default smoke lineup. Speaking of, is Venton through the door. He's got the shot bomb down inside of the site and body dropping as well. This is lovely stuff. After the first gun round as well, this will put G2 in a world of hurt with money.
Yeah, Winston almost gifted those kills there as well. G2 just coming out the door 1 by 1, and it's not even a case of aiming at that stage, just spraying them down as they come out of that tiny little choke point. It's going to be Screen, the last player remaining. Winston has shut this round down single-handedly, looking for more, wanted to be the one to finish it off as well. He does get taken down by Screen, but still a lot of work to do here. But 40 seconds remaining. There it is, the final kill from Dennis. And you're right, after winning that last round, things were looking very promising for G2, but now Fnatic getting ever closer. That's just a really nice spray control from Winston. Good movement as well to get the 3rd kill. And we're feeling good about that one.
It's very good, but here we go, guns again.
Yeah, but no warp on Smiths. This has always been a problem for GT. The money situation always seems to be a slight issue for them on each game we cast. Never really get to their point with their swollen or swelling the bank accounts. Shoxy going aggressive towards Squeaky Door. It will be a default from G2, but very similar scenes from Fnatic. Nothing special coming into their setup either.
And they throw that smoke down toward Olaf early, but don't really do anything with it except preventing him to push through. So, I mean, you can always throw that late and distill him if you are trying to set up for an execution. So, I get what the... Okay, Olaf can't shoot through now, but if you're not going to peek it, if you're not going to try and get map control, try and get in toward Toxic Room a little bit sooner, I'm surprised why waste it, because you don't have many smokes to work with ultimately at this point in time. Twist. That smoke dissolves, could be spotted by Body instead. He's going to run back down middle. Scream is boosted, but not peeking. So Twist won't have the activity or angle, I should say, to try and find the shot onto him. Light smoke towards Z. Twist knows it. He'll play this alone. Quick flash out. Won't go for the high peek. Instead, just waiting for anyone to push through, potentially cross to vents.
Yeah,
and they completely give up mid on this.
Yeah, they're allowing them to have middle. Like we say, if you don't have the manpower there, you don't feel like you could win the duels against these kind of players. It's more than fine to get the mid controllers readjust, have a defensive setup. They have got the orbs available as well, so it's absolutely fine to have a turret either side of the map. Shox, he'll be trying to set his team up as he does open Squeaky Door. Molotov towards Faulkner. That was the problem last time, but Wenton still will be holding strong as the French side do come out A main though, taking down this time. RPK with the first kill.
First shot kill, and the second now for Dennis. Third swinging out, just missing on the shot. It's Shox. Find it in return. Bomb down toward the default, but Olaf's already covering that off. And as they try and repeat onto him, he's got a second. Lekro closes it in, and Fnatic that much closer to going 2-0 on the night. We talked about G2, 0-6 to start the year, 2-0 last evening, but any more losses stacking up, particularly against these top teams, which they're going to have to carve their way back into the season against. And they could already be in a hugely, hugely problematic situation for the rest of the year, and that's seemingly the direction we're heading right now.
Yeah, for sure. And potentially one of the last rounds here. Trying to brace 14-8, and it's going to have to be a force buy from G2. Can't allow Fnatic to get on match point so early on. Forcing in with Tech9's Deagles. This will be an A-sided set piece. They'll probably just smoke towards Highway and the quad position. Molotov the side and see what they can do from here. It's going to be very difficult for them to hold off. But match point is looming.
And I do correct myself, G2 did pick up Dust 2, 16-13 in the end. But either way, another loss to a top team is still problematic. They almost needed a 2-0 this season, or this series to get their season back underway, but Ben did 2 kills for him,
Wow.
M4. Dennis swings out late, goes to the 5-7. He's gonna also pick up Shox. And just body remains, map point, Fnatic. All but done at this point in time. And Olaf secures the round. It's but frightful on this first episode of Cash that we're going to see tonight. And then we've got Nip and FaZe, and Nip and FaZe up against on Cash and Cash.
Yeah, I think Alex will explain later how that came to be. It's quite confusing, but we are going to get it broken down at some point. It's basically because the games are separate games. They're not a series, right? They're not connected, so it can happen occasionally. That's the gist of it anyway. Well then, 4 Tech9's a Deagle, Fnatic on match point here. It looks like Fnatic will be picking up the first series of Cash here. Jumping over towards the right-hand side of A main. He will be detected though, so has to use the smoke to get out. Swiss getting aggressive towards middle. There's a ton of damage towards body as well. This round, he's going to fall apart as the players start to drop there. Shox though with some good work here. Manages to pick up an AWP, so...
Wrap around though from Shox. He mentioned picking up the AWP. He goes further aggressive with the Tech9, and Body getting twist. Body on 19 going for the open plant, the most opportune plant. That nade doesn't catch him. He gets to quad just enough, but he won't transfer therefore back over toward A main. And with 2 at quad, they go through the boost here with this AWP. Scream, he's got the...
I think it's too obvious.
I think you're right, because they're already in position where they can see it. Oh, that's big. That's a big miss. Saw him coming up, had the lineup. Body goes down, and Scream missing again. He's got the AWP and a Deagle, but he's got no chances. Olaf wraps around, and Fnatic will take this one 16-8.
There it is. G2 never really got rolling on the T side there. After winning the pistol as well, they were completely shut down with that blunder. I have to say, that sticks out of my mind the most. You win the pistol, you play no one towards the B side of the map whatsoever. Olaf gets in towards Sunroom, and at that point, they had a full A stack, and I think that was the deciding factor of the second half. Had they got the 3-0, maybe could have actually come back from that.
Yeah, I think 100%. Well...
It would have been more convincing.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to read into it that far, but it would have definitely built up the economy, and they could have traded rounds more effectively. Winning the first gun and then losing right after, you can't really do much. They did have a second buy. I was surprised they were able to get out the AKs because of their efficiency in that situation, and bomb plants included. But Fnatic take another win, and this map maybe not so much, but something to take away from tonight is that I've been kind of promoting him a bit, but I think Lekro looked very, very good this evening as opposed to last night when he was...
especially, 34 kills? Yeah, he's, he is a proven talent on land. We've only seen him at one massive event so far, but yeah, definitely showing he can handle himself in the top tier of CS. But let's let the guys at the desk break it down. Guys, are you ready?
I was born ready, Henry. Thanks very much from you two. And that is going to be the first series done. Not dusted. I need to stop saying that. It's just become I can't stop saying.
Done and dusted.
As soon as I say done, dusted just slips out as well. Anyway, Cash does go the way, rather convincingly this time to Fnatic. We did start seeing some positive signs on G2's CT side. I think, Yanka, we were sitting there, we're like, actually, this is what we were talking about. It seemed like they had some good setups, but I mean, 16-8 suggests that it was a very one-sided affair. What's happened here?
I think the biggest problem for them is that they had 2 bad starts. I mean, first half, that 1v3 from Olaf Meister, and then in the second half, they do win the pistol, Pistol, but they lose the following round, which is maybe even worse than just losing Pistol, right? So I felt that if they had a better start, especially in the first half, they could have been up, 7-0 pretty much, because early on they were really good on their city side with timed aggression and then getting early pickups. But I felt that towards the end of the first half, Fnatic figured them out. So they were just, kind of faking they were doing something and just waiting for the reaction from G2, and they would punish them for their aggression.
Yeah, and what were they doing for these fakes? I know this is sometimes a silly question. So, like, how were they making these fakes? How were they reading into G2? Because I'd like to talk more about that, the success G2 were having at the start, because it was very sexy CS. But just before we touched on that, how do you fake?
No, in this case, I don't even think fake is the best word to describe it. It's more like, making noise and basically baiting some sort of a reaction from G2, right? It's not necessarily going for smoke execute towards one bomb site and then forcing them to do something on the other side. It's just being a bit more aggressive, maybe spending a couple of resources, and then you could see it in a round. They would try to push Squeaky, or they would flash themselves into main, and it worked in the beginning, but then Fnatic figured it out, and they were just waiting for them.
Yeah, perfect example being how much did Scream get away with initially, being able to push into main off the back of, as soon as Fnatic would go from not necessarily a set piece towards A, but they'd show presence. All right, Scream would get in there, the flash would come out, really well timed, or RPK did it a couple of times as well, and it worked really nicely. After the back of that, Fnatic were like, well, let's just hit the brakes a little bit. Show presence towards A, show maybe a couple of steps towards Squeaky, then you'll see that instant response coming out from them, and then, maybe one player just sat back at the, back of A main, just going, all right, well, you've just pushed in and I'm not flashed and I'm waiting for you. And then they started to exploit mid even further. Smiths was playing really well at quad. This was something you were discussing before, that as an AWP, you can just fall back towards quad, wait for that push up, and, you generally do pretty well, but he kept getting isolated, locked off, and it started being exploited more and more. And it's very hard to rotate as a CT side once you get, so isolated on these sites and so deep into the sites itself. But it actually wasn't a bad CT side, as you said. It was looking decent, but I think the biggest point is that Henry brought up that once they got that reset on the second half, they weren't able to get those clean 3 rounds, off the back of the pistol. They never really recovered. They never really were able to string much together, and then Fnatic just kind of ground it out.
And of course, a big part of that was also Olofmeister having a great game. Not only the clutching, but just generally just filling up that kill feed round after round. Olof still hasn't got back to taking that level that we know he's capable of, but I think the rise is evident already, Yanko, that he is on his way back. Is that safe to say?
Yes, and he does a lot of work for Fnatic on that B bomb site, not just, defending it when they go his way, but also, realizing that there's nobody there, and has really good timings for pushes, which gives them a lot of info. We saw it even in their game against Mouse Sports in that 14-14 round where he pushes, gets the kill, gets the gun, and kills 2 players in the back. Here as well, in the second round, was in the second half when he got the info and they were able to stack the A bomb site, which netted them the force buy win.
And it was a win all round. It's going to be a big ending for G2. They wanted to pick up the 2-0. In fact, that would have made life so much easier for them as time does go on in the ESL Pro League. But now, I mean, it's clear that they're going to have a very smooth run from here on out in the Pro League. It's weird to be saying that in week 2, but I don't think I'm wrong in saying that you have 7 losses on the board now, and this is week 2 of the Pro League.
Going historically, you're absolutely spot on, because it always comes down to incredibly close, I guess, from about, normally it's like the top 2 are running away with it. They're normally clear-cut in towards it. But below that, it always becomes incredibly tough. You even get it coming down to like round difference wins and who faced off who won that game. It always seems to happen. And you never expect it to at the start. You're like, oh, it'll just smooth out, it'll be fine, they'll pick it up. But this is a very turbulent time in CS at the moment. Teams are having to kind of pick up that pace really quick here, and some are getting back on point faster than others, and this could be actually very defining towards the end of the season.
I mean, let's not forget, they were on the grand final stage of the Pro League finals for Season 3. This is Season 4, and now they're already looking like they may have hamstrung themselves.
I'm not sure, did they, in that grand final, I even think that they maybe won more rounds than SK, when you just combine the rounds in total.
It was a sick game.
But they did lose in maps. Yeah, it was an amazing grand final.
And didn't they qualify through in the last possible position as well to make it to the grand finals, and then went all the way to the finals itself? So again, this team is no stranger to having to work for it, but last season they didn't get off to the start. Again, the teams that you'd always hail with this sort of beginning, sadly, were the Virtus Pros, whereas it's like, another loss, guys. But it's a different time now.
I feel it is going to be a bit different this time around, because we have more teams, there's more games, and also it's even more competitive than it was in the previous season. There are a lot of teams who can, pick up wins. We saw Team X 2-0 Astralis, so they can definitely take a map off of some of the favorites here. I'm
really looking forward to seeing how this shapes up. Like, just to see, there's so much unknown, so much uncertainty with so many good teams playing. I do love this league. Coming up next, you get to see NIP versus FaZe. That's actually another one which could be a bit of a surprise. FaZe have an opportunity to just get to even higher echelons, top of the table currently. They've played a whole lot of CS in these past couple of weeks. We'll take a break, and when we do come back, we'll be seeing how NIP and FaZe do face off on 2 times cash. That's right. And if you want to know how this cash did go down, you can check out the app called the Score Esports application. It's available on every smartphone that is basically around. Do people still have Nokias around these days? Like, you know, the old-fashioned, like, kind of, if you have Snake installed, iOS or Google Play, maybe not.
Ooh.
Oh, so not every smartphone. If it's on iOS or Google Play, then you can grab it, and it will keep you up to date with all of the latest esports gossip and, of course, the stats as well. You check it out when we do come back. We're going to be starting our second venture into cash. Stay tuned.